Well, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Drew Fulton, along with the rest of my crew, Lamont Littlejohn, Craig Short. Guys, we've done this a couple of times already, and it's kind of our scrimmage, if you will, to get ready for this upcoming season. We've had issues with YouTube, had issues with streaming keys, we've had issues with pretty much anything you can think of, but. Man, tell me, are you about ready for Kings Mountain football?
Most definitely. I think we're ready. You ready, Craig?
I'm ready. I said on the other one, keep hearing the whistles and the action down below the house at the high school. They're fired up and ready to go.
Well, we had the end of the summer cookout and then the parent meeting Saturday. I don't know if y'all got over that good crowd over there eating hot dogs and hamburgers, getting ready, some fans meeting the team and the parents and the team getting to meet some of the parents. We got season tickets already starting to be sold. I think parking passes will be sold at some point. I don't know exactly when, but so we've got all of that to look forward to. We're going to give you a rundown of the schedule. We're going to give you a look at some of the things with the Mountaineer team that you may not know and things that you need to know as you get ready for home games for a new 2025 season. We'll take a break. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors from last season. We've got new sponsors from this upcoming season. We haven't gotten those ready graphic-wise, but that's coming. But we kind of want to give a big shout-out to the ones, a lot of the same ones. We've gained some, but a lot of the same ones. But we want to give a shout-out to those that sponsored us the last season of Mountaineer football. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust, Brittany Austin and Company Real Estate, Flooring America, Dellinger's Jewel Shop, JWH Contracting, Butler Outdoor Design,
Welcome back. We filmed this the other day, and I chose a very cool location. We did it at the Kings Mountain Historical Museum, and we had problems with the video encoder that I didn't realize until after we shot it. So all of that we filmed the other day does not exist anywhere on this planet. So we had to reshoot this episode, and I did not want to impose again on the museum. They were very gracious and let us do it there and kind of stayed after hours. I didn't want to inconvenience them anymore, so we are here at First Baptist Church. But I do want to give a big shout out to the Historical Museum. Thank you so much for letting us do that. We'll try to get some good footage during the season and bring it to you of the Historical Museum. Make sure you go by there. It's a free museum. You can donate, but it's a completely free museum. Go by and see their exhibit right now, Moonshine and Motorsports, a lot of car, racetrack stuff, even moonshine steels. And there is some moonshine in the museum, so you can go by and touch it. They won't let you drink it, but you can touch it.
I'm sure some of our fans have touched it and drank it.
Well, probably so, but I wasn't going to get into that. But go by the museum and tell them we sent you. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And just a great thing. They celebrate Kings Mountain and the history of Kings Mountain and surrounding areas, and just a great thing that we have here in our Kings Mountain area. All right, guys, let's start with last season. We finished 9-3 overall, finished 6-1 in the conference, actually tied for first place with the conference, but the way the seeding was, we went second in the Big South. We took a loss in the second round to J.M. Robinson, 41-14. TJ threw for 172 yards. We only had 32 yards of rushing, which tells you only the 14 points. We gave up 190 in the air and 355 on the ground. We come across a really good team there in Concord, and could not match their team that night.
It just seemed to me, Craig, it just seemed like we was kind of off that night. Again, TJ had a great night through the air, but our running game could never get going. And it seems like that even Jay and Robinson, they was kind of slow. But, man, when they got started, they didn't stop. And so, you know, we didn't like the way that it ended, but I think it gives us some fuel coming back this year. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, no one really likes a moral victory, I guess, but a 9-3 campaign, 6-1 in the conference, a really tough conference, which we're going to talk about more here in a minute. I think it was a good season. I know they were disappointed with how they played in the last game or how the game came out at J.M. Robinson. But, you know, a lot to build on. And from what I'm hearing and we'll talk about today, I believe they've built quite a good chance or a good program and team to move forward into this season.
Well, let's talk about the conference first. Big South Conference has changed a little bit since we've had the realignment and the different categories. It's the Big South 5A, 6A conference. Kings Mountain and Ashbrook are the only two 6A teams in the conference. The rest are 5A. Give you just a glimpse at some of the 6A teams that we could face down the road. If we get there, AC Reynolds is in 6A, Ashbrook, Asheville, Berry, Charlotte Catholic, Dudley, Freedom, Olympic, Ragsdale, Watauga, Statesville, a lot of powerhouse teams in that 6A conference. It's one of the, you know, there's all the way up to, is it 8A?
Yes.
8A. I mean, in my mind, 6A is as hard of a conference as you could possibly be in the state of North Carolina.
So 5 and 6A both, all they've done is they took the 3A and they just split the 3A, and we've all always said, in our opinion, the 3A is much tougher in every sport because if you look back down at the 5A, which you're getting ready to do, they're going to hear some teams that are there. Are you going to do another 5A?
No.
Okay, so like 5A has still got Crest. It's got Monroe.
Right.
I mean, you've got Hickory, East Lincoln, North Lincoln. Yeah. You've got teams in the 5A bracket that are just as rough. So 3A is basically 5A.
Coached.
Yes,
yeah.
5A and 6A now, and it's going to be tough either way.
It's almost like what they did a repeat of the alignment we had years ago, right?
Yes.
The like the 1A, 1AA,
Double A, yes, yes, that's all they did. Yes.
That's all they did, and just extended it to everybody have their own alignment or division. Right,
and the only difference now is, and we'll go over this in a minute, is with the playoffs. And they switched it up a little bit with how the brackets are done or how the teams get in with the playoffs. And now that there's 8 classifications, and we'll talk about that. That's really the only difference to Lamont's point. Right. It's like 3A, 3AA, 4A, 4AA. Right.
Let's talk about the schedule right quick. Out of the schedule this year, we dropped Cox Mill. We played them for a couple years. We also dropped Stuart Kramer because they dropped down to a 4A team, so they're not in the Big South anymore.
They're in the Shelby Conference now, aren't they?
They are in the Shelby Conference.
Yes. I think they're split, 3A,
4A,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And then we pick up Bandy's and Charlotte Catholic. Now, traditionally, the last several years, we've only had the three non-conference games before the season starts. This year, we've got 4. We got both county schools that we'll talk about in a minute, Shelby and Burns. And now we have Bandy's and Charlotte Catholic. Adding that 4th non-conference game before we get the conference started, is that a benefit? Does it matter?
Most definitely, I think it is a benefit. I think the more you can play, I know Coach Herring would love to play as many as we can. The good thing is we'll talk about the jamboree and the scrimmage, but the more you can play before you get into conference play, you can iron out those wrinkles. You can see who May is now on the number 2 depth chart, but the way they play in preseason may move. You'll see you'll see your special teams. Your defense, you can play a little bit more in the non-conference, getting ready for conference play. So I think the more we can play non-conference leading into the conference play is most definitely a benefit.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think the choice of the two teams we're playing is great too. We're going to talk about them more individually in a moment. But not only have we picked up 2 extra games or an extra game, we've picked up 2 quality teams that will help us, but will also help those teams. I'm sure they were very eager to play us as well, and I think it will bode well for us.
And I know we're going to talk about later on how they are doing now the seeding.
Yes.
Which is really going to help
yes,
us out
it
with
will.
Stronger teams.
Let's talk about the coaching staff. It changes a little bit. The last 2 years we've had Jamie Bolton as offensive coordinator. He left and has gone to Rock Hill. I believe Coach Herron right now is calling the offense for the Mountaineers. Kevin Cruz, of course, he is the new athletic director at the high school. He is no longer the O-line coach or coordinator. We picked up two good guys from, I believe both of them came from Blacksburg.
Blacksburg, yes.
Tell us a little bit about those guys. You've coached with them and you know them.
I do. I know them well. So taking over for Coach Cruz is Jeffrey Beal. Jeff is an Ardrey Kell graduate. Did some GA experience at Western Carolina. He also coached at Freedom. He coached at East Gaston. He was our defensive coordinator at Blacksburg for the last 2 seasons. Tremendous young man, great head for the game, good coach. From what I understand, he's helping a lot with the running game. So he'll be like a running game coordinator, unless that's changed since the last time I talked to Coach Herron. And he'll be doing that. So he's a good asset. Definitely a tough set of shoes to fill from Coach Cruz, but a good pickup. And then the other one is Jake Pearson. Jake also coached with us at Blacksburg. Another young coach, really strong, really good. He will be helping with the defensive line. Very eager. I know he'll do great things. And I forgot to say this before when we did the tape the other day. I can't forget we brought Shane Short back. And so Shane is not a new person to our team and to our community, but Shane is coming back to help, and I'm pretty sure he's coaching running backs. And
that's
that'll be another asset.
Before, right?
Yes.
Running back coach,
yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be a great addition to our staff. All of them will be.
All right, we'll go into the schedule. We'll start with the scrimmages, but let's take another break and give a shout out to our 2024 sponsors. It's KMHS Sports, and this is the Kickoff Show, getting ready for the 2025 season. We'll be right back after this message.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by the venue at Turkey Ridge, Xenia Home Building, Innovative Pools, Butler Tire and Auto, Long Branch Land and Water, Christie Cellars with Allen Tate Realty.
Back here live at First Baptist Church. We're in the Student Center doing this for the second time. So I'm glad that we work out all these kinks before the season starts, because I would hate for us to have isures.
This is our
2 hours before kickoff,
especially the Shelby game. That's the first one.
Yeah, we would you were talking about nobody's been upset that we promised Friday and we didn't deliver Friday, and then we promised Monday and we didn't deliver Monday, and then it got to Tuesday today, and we said, well, we'll try to deliver today, but we're not even sure at the time when we said it. So I'm glad that we worked these things out now before, nobody was upset. They just wanted eager to see it or what we had to say about
Which is
it.
a good thing.
A good thing.
Yeah.
They don't want to see us. They want to hear about the season.
But it would be a lot different, come 7:30 on a Friday night of
the Battle of Buffalo Creek.
And
yeah, I was going to say
we're
the same
not
thing.
there.
Right.
So let's talk about the scrimmages. This year, the scrimmage moved a little bit. We used to have it from school to school. It would go from Burns to Crest to Shelby to Kings Mountain, then make the rotation. This year, we are at Gardner Webb, which in my mind, I always thought it should be there anyway. But they worked some kinks out, whatever the problem was of not doing it there. It is going to be there this Friday night. So this coming Friday night, the Jamboree starts at 6 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure what game we are.
We should be the third. If they keep it like it was, we should be the third game, because next season Kings Mountain would have been the host. And typically the way they do it is whoever hosted last year plays at 6, then it's the next to last year plays at 7, and then the team that hosts next year plays at 8, and the hosting team plays at 9. That's typically how it's been done.
This year it would have been Crest.
This year it would have been Crest.
Crest would play last. They play against Myers Park.
Myers Park. And we play right before them. Right. We'll talk about that. But I will say real quick, I talked to Mike Wilbanks at church on Sunday, and he was talking about, he was speaking to the new coach at Gardner-Webb, and said one of the first things he asked Mike, he was like, what can we do to help, get Gardner-Webb to help you all? And Mike said, he told him, he said, first thing, get the Jamboree back there. He said, it's a no-brainer. He said, none of our schools really want to host it. It's a little bit of a headache. It's good for you. And the coach listened and did it, and they pulled some strings, and I'm with you guys. I think it's the perfect place to play it. I will, like I said when we recorded the other show, make sure you try to come in a different way than up 150 by the one stoplight for you people that live around here, because it could get crazy. Parking is great, but it's a great venue to host it. And it's good for Gardner-Webb. I mean, they're going to be able to see 8 really good football teams.
Yeah, it's exposure, and I was talking to some people at Gardner-Webb today. Coming to find out, it was way back in the early 2000s when they did it the last time. I thought it was a little earlier than that or later than that. But kudos to Dr. Fisher. Kudos to our AD of the county, David Pless, and our interim president, Nate Evans. They really got in the room with Coach. Also, interim AD Chuck Birch is back, and so they are thrilled to have Cleveland County on the campus. This is exposure for Gardner-Webb, but also it gives us that true university college experience. So, you know, you got to pay for parking and all that stuff. But again, the way they came together, worked it out, it's all about partnerships. And I know the people at Gardner-Webb, they are absolutely thrilled about this Friday. So again, y'all get there, get to Gardner-Webb, starting at 6 o'clock. You don't want to miss this experience. Come and support all of our teams of Cleveland County. I mean, we are the bedrock of football when it comes to it. It should be at, I mean, you got a D1 university. As much as we can get these teams on that campus, whether it's basketball, baseball, other sports, even cheerleading competitions, soccer, we need to utilize that space at Gardner-Webb. So I'm absolutely excited that's there.
And I think you mentioned they have new turf.
They do. And we talked about
the first one to play on.
Right. We talked about the last time when they just put the turf down the first time. Kings Mountain literally was the first team on it. They were
the Burns game.
Right. Yeah, they were trying to fix it in the end zone, and we were there. But and from what I think you told us, Drew, they're putting down new turf for Lamont.
Yep.
This is new turf now.
This is brand new turf.
New turf.
So whoever plays the first game would be Burns. And Burns and the team they play against, Corvitt, they would be the first ones to play on the brand new turf. They haven't got the center logo yet because you know how turf is. Right. They got to match it, and so again, but it's brand new turf. I was up there yesterday morning, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Gardner-Webb has a beautiful stadium. They really do.
Most
I mean, and again, we keep saying the word exposure. I think it's great for Gardner-Webb, and it's good for all of these teams that are coming.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's $10 to get in. Mm-hmm. I believe there is a $10 charge for parking.
Right.
So it costs you $20 to get in.
Right. And you're getting 4 football games. I mean, that's a deal. Right.
And I keep saying this, 8 really good teams, because I'm telling you, the teams that are coming that are playing our 4 teams are all really good teams. I mean, this is not some just run-of-the-mill scrimmage, and I'm not going to speak badly about specific other teams, but I've seen some of the ones that are advertised, and you have to scrimmage to scrimmage. Don't get me wrong. And they're having jamborees, none to this quality. There are 8 really good teams coming.
All right, let's talk about the next scrimmage, which will be at Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain will take on West Iredale at home, August the 15th. That's next Friday.
Yes.
A week from this Friday. West Iredale, traditionally a pretty decent program, but last year they were 2-8. So hopefully they're going to bring a team that we can learn something from.
I agree, and I'm with you. I mean, we can look at what they did last year. I've got right here they had 11 seniors on their team. They gave up 402 points, 213 points they scored themselves, but you can throw that out the window because I don't know anything about their JV. They have been strong in the past. I think it'll be a good measuring stick for us, and I do believe I'm not 100%. Probably our JV will get to scrimmage that night. Typically they will. And this one will be controlled, and you'll get more time. Whereas in the Jamboree, you're going to get a half of football. Here you're going to get numbered plays. You might even get to do a couple extra things and let some guys, some 2s and 3s play, as Lamont said a moment ago, with the non-conference schedule that could help you down the road. And this would be a good way to understand what they can do and what might where they might be used.
So that is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks from 2 weeks or 2 weeks from now. It's next Friday, August the 15th. Then we kick off the season officially at home. Glad that it's always at home. Kings Mountain and Shelby, and it just dawned on me, I have misspelled Kings Mountain, but I'll overlook that.
It's all right.
That's okay.
After
that's
all we've been
one.
through, that's small. Don't worry.
Week 1, August the 22nd. Now, this game last year, let me tell you, started back in this series started back in 1923. This will be the 104th meeting of the Mountaineers and Golden Lions. We are 22, 75, and 7. We are 4-6 the last 10 games against Shelby. Last year we lost 32-16 at Shelby. Dixon Velez started the game, as you remember. T.J. Armstrong got the nod. He finished the game. He was 8 for 20, 134 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Couldn't ever really get the Mountaineer running game going, and then we could not stop Land Farmer. He completed about 50% of his passes, 251 yards. Then you got Tristan Tate with 23 carries, 111 yards. They'll return Farmer as quarterback. They got Manuel Collins at wide receiver. They got Hollifields on both sides of the ball. So this will be an experienced, well-coached, and very good Shelby team coming into Kings Mountain first week of the season, game 1.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. Shelby is as advertised, especially number 8, the quarterback back there. He just finished, I think, the Manning Passing Academy or camp or whatever. I mean, Land Farmer is everything that is advertised. He has the arm strength. He has the size. He understands that offense. This is his 3rd year as the captain of that ship. But you got skill players. You got people like, please watch out for, I think his jersey number is number 1, Emmanuel Collins. Watch out for this kid. I mean, he's quick as lightning. They always have those fast wideouts. And then when you got the Hollifields as well, you have, is it T, center? Does he play both? I'm not sure. Ron's son, and then you have his cousin on the other end as a linebacker. I mean, there's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. They just keep reloading. So this is going to be
we got to run out of them sooner or later.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's going to be a good test for our young guys. I'm excited about it, but this is going to be a tough game. But I believe we up for the challenge. I'm just interested. We talk about the skill positions. I'm just wondering about the trenches, right? We know we have T there on offense, but I think he may play both sides. But how's the rest of the trenches? The OL, the DL. That's where it's won at. And so I think if we can somehow win those battles. I think we can get to Farmer. If we can get to Farmer and slow that down, I think we're going to be in good shape.
And the thing is, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's just getting to him. He's such a big, powerful.
And it's hard to bring him down.
It is. I mean, he keeps plays alive. He keeps plays alive with his feet, but he keeps plays alive literally with his body because he's hard to tackle. Yeah. He also puts balls into spaces that a lot of quarterbacks his age do not. He's really well. And I said this the other day, I think Mike does a really good job, Coach Wilbanks, and the other coaches do a really good job. Something I'll say about what we do at Kings Mountain or trying to do this year, they take a lot of pressure off Farmer with the skill guys around him. He doesn't have to win it by himself. He doesn't have to do extra things because he's got enough weapons. He just has to distribute the ball, and we know that he can do that. So it's going to run through him. If we can pressure him and get him rattled a little bit, maybe. But I like the test because we're young. It'll be good to see what we can do, especially on the defensive backfield position. I think we're pretty young there. Yeah. I think it'll be a really good test for us out the gate.
Most definitely.
All right, let's go to our second week where we travel, first time on the road, travel up to Burns. This series started 1968. This will be the 57th meeting of the Bulldogs and Mountaineers. We are 33-24, 9-1 the last 10 games. We won last year 41-20. This is going to be August the 29th at Burns. Now, I do want to point out we are 9-1 the last 10 games. This, to me, Kings Mountain and Burns has just felt like we have been on Burns' list. We've been able to. I mean, last year 41-20. You think, well, that's not close, but it was a lot closer last year than 41-20. And they have surged last several years in the second half, and could have easily beat us several times. But we were able, one way or another, to hold them off. To me, this is the game that could be tricky if we're not careful.
I agree, because if you remember last year's game, we got out ahead of them. And we kind of took our foot off the gas, and Burns, before we got up 41 to whatever, they got close, and they were clicking. And you're right, and they were a little hungrier than we were there toward down the stretch. We were able to hold on. So I'm with you. It also depends on what we do after the Shelby game. I mean, if we win the Shelby game and we're feeling really good about ourselves, do we take Burns a little too lightly? If we lose to Shelby, or we're down in the dumps and we don't
call it could be a trap game.
Right, it could be. I mean, that's a really good opponent in a tough position to play in that second week.
Yeah. And they always play hard against us, right? They play us tough, and we can go back 5 years, 6 years. It was always a fumble or an interception or a play that got us going, and we may have scored 2 touchdowns in a row, and then we was able to extend that lead. But it hadn't always been easy, even though we're 9-1 the last. Those wins have not been easy.
Right.
We had to sometimes, scrape it to the last 4 quarters. They come back and one possession here and one possession there.
Yeah.
It's always been tough battles, and that's county football, right? Throw out the records. But again, this Burns team, I know a lot of people saying they're not there yet. They're waiting for the quarterback from the middle school, who I saw him playing. He is the truth.
Yeah.
And I think he's an 8th grader now. When he gets 9th grade, I think that's when they're going to start rolling. I think they won the middle school championship last year. Mm-hmm. And so, it depends on how that quarterback situation is. But I know Coach Devine, he has something, and he's a guru when it comes to defense.
Right.
So this is by no means would be an easy game for us.
Well, I think a lot of people go into this, and I mean, you might think I'm silly when I say this, but every coach and player goes into games usually thinking they can win. Yeah. But to me, to the points you guys are making, it almost seems like Burns feels like we are going to win. This is a game we will win. They play that way. We've just been better. I remember in 2008, our semifinal year, one of our semifinals years, Burns was down that year for their standard. We played in the last game of the season over there. We're going to win the conference outright with that win, and I'm telling you what, we had to fight our way out of there. It was one of the hardest games we played all season. So it's a tough place to play. It is they will be well coached, and I'm not buying anything about what people are saying in the communities about they're going to be down a little bit. They always seem to have quick, skilled players. They always usually have a good quarterback. It'll be a tough game.
Well, last year Armstrong threw for 257 yards. Big Tex, he showed out last year, 163 yards receiving. Hill racked up 146 on the ground and 4 touchdowns. 2 of those guys we just talked about are not on this team. So it could be a very good matchup between the Mountaineers and Bulldogs this year. And I get, with the way the conferences got realigned, Burns could get on a hot streak and do very well in their playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
They're 4A, right? But they're 4A? Yeah, because
yes.
Shelby's 3A. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's like, I'm sure obviously Burns wants to beat us. They want to win every game they can. But what you're saying there, I mean, so what if you don't win that one? Get hot in the conference part, and losing a close game to Kings Mountain, if they lose it or if they beat us, that's going to help you. And we're going to talk about the playoff thing in a minute. It helps them in their scheduling. So really it's good for them either way.
And it's all about building momentum, right? And that's what coaches will talk about, is that you take that first game, you take that second game. And what we want to do is practice consistency. We want to eliminate mistakes. And we want to get hot around that October, November, so we can go into the playoff blazing and make a run for the championship.
Well, guys, let's take another break. We'll give a shout-out to our 2014 sponsors as we get ready for the kickoff of our 2025 season. Stay with us. We've got more Kickoff show coming right now after this.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by Lickety Lou's, D.R. Horson Home Building, John Gamble and Carolina Golf, Allen & Sons Construction, the Imperial Mercantile and Outfitters.
Thank you so much for joining us, the 2025 Kickoff Show. We were just saying that football's back, and we're getting ready for another season of Mountaineer football. Let's go to week 4. No, excuse me, I ain't done week 3 yet. Let's go to week 3. This is the Bandy's game. Now, this is the game that was added the very last of the schedule. He was looking for a team to play and finally found one in Bandy's. This is September the 5th. Bandy's will come to Kings Mountain. I looked, and this is the first time the Kings Mountain High School has ever played Bandy's on the field. I don't even know what Bandy's mascot is.
Trojans. They look like Michigan State. They're dark green and white, a little bit of silver.
They went 7-4 last season, 4-3 in the Catawba Valley 2A conference. That was last year's 2A. I'm sure that's 4A now. But they compete with teams like Lincolnton, Maiden, West Lincoln, Newton Conover. So they play some really good schools.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Bandy's have always been that powerhouse, especially 2A. I remember back maybe 10 years ago where they was competing with Shelby in the 3rd round.
Yes.
And so Bandy's have always been that powerhouse, and I'm telling you, they're quality. So I don't want people to somehow look past this and say, oh, this is an easy win, these are mountain guys. But they put you in the mind of that Franklin, that Smoky Mountain. They like to run, control the ball. This is going to put a lot of pressure on our defense. We got to get them off the field and not let them score to somehow control the time of possession. And so, we don't sleep on Bandy's. They're going to come. They're going to be well coached. That's a program. They're used to winning. They understand the tradition. And so I'm looking forward to it. I think that's, again, a good test for our young guys and to see this. And they're normally big, right? These are big guys. So, again, I think that's going to be a test for us as well.
Well, I think it speaks well, as to Drew's point, if they went 7-4, 4-3 in the Catawba Valley last year. That conference was ridiculously tough. I do have they lost 18 seniors, but I don't know what their JV team was like. I do know that losing that many can hurt, but I also know, to Lamont's point, I mean, they are typically a very strong program. And one of the things I thought about as Lamont was talking, they don't run like a wing or like a wishbone looking type wing set that like South Point runs. But if it's the same type of offense they run normally, they are a heavy run team, which can help our run defense against teams like South Point. We know they're going to run the ball almost exclusively. So this could be a really good test. Even though it's not the same offense, it's still a run-oriented offense. So this could maybe help us and see where we are for when we play South Point down the road. But I guarantee you it's going to be a really tough game. And I'm anxious to see that one. With it being a new program for us, we know about them. But coming here, they typically have a good fan base. I mean, I feel like they'll travel with them, especially if they're doing well early on. And it'd be a big win for them, so probably their fans will come as well. I'm excited about this, and this is a good pickup.
All right, let's go to the next week. Week I've got circled. Week 4, September the 12th, which is, if I can get my graphic to show up. I guess it really doesn't matter, does it? I think I just erased my graphic. September 12th at Charlotte Catholic. We are 2-0 against the Cougars. I could talk all night or 2-3 hours about the 56-49 overtime loss in 2019.
7 overtimes, right?
But we don't have time for that. They did go 9-3 last season, lost Grimsley in the 3rd round. They've been playing in the 4A for the last few years. They lost in the 3rd round 42-14 against Grimsley. How big is this game? I mean, is it something that is it a must win? Is it a game that could inspire your players down the road? Is it we hadn't talked about RPI yet,
right?
But is this a good hurdle for RPI? Tell me your thoughts about Charlotte Catholic.
If you can hit it from that RPI.
Yeah. So. Yes, it will be. And, again, we'll do the playoff thing in a moment, but it would definitely help your RPI ranking, which we're going to talk about in a moment. It helps Catholics, too, because Kings Mountain is a good team as well. Again, if they run the traditional offense that Catholic runs, which is a version of the wing tee, a almost exclusive running team, I think it bodes well for us and will help us against a team like South Point. Again, they lost 26 seniors off last year's team. They only gave up 182 points last year, scored 342. I do know they lost a lot of seniors, but I also know that, we all know what Catholic does. Catholic has the ability to recruit. I'm not saying that they do. I know they have that ability. But they will probably.
That's a completely another show.
That's right. That's right. So they will reload. It is a very tough place to play, especially when you're driving into the end of the field where the student section and band are. It is a hostile environment. I think that it will be a good test. Again, I don't like moral victories, but I think if you can get out of there with a win, that's huge. I think if you get out of there with a close loss, it's big as well. But I really feel like we can win the game. I feel like Kings Mountain can win every game they play this year. I like our team. But it is definitely a big test.
To start there, what you just said, I believe we're young in certain areas, but we're going to surprise people. I love the fact that we are flying under the radar now. Not much talk about Kings Mountain. We're going to start at sophomore quarterback who's tough, right, Mr. Bell, and you have Tex at the wide receiver position. You also have another exciting sophomore at Xavier Hutchins. I'm excited for those guys, Samaj and Feemster on the defense. What I'm more excited about is the atmosphere. Seeing those young guys, because from JV, I saw them how they dominated. To varsity, it's another leap. I know our guys are ready, right? They're not going to run from no competition. But for them to go into that stadium, that's legendary, right? The student section down there, it's just the atmosphere, right? For them to go, I want to see how they handle adversity, because adversity is going to happen in this game. And I believe this game, I know we have the Shelby game. That's a big rival. Of course, Burns, Bandits, not taking anything away from those games. But for you to go on the road with a powerhouse, legendary, Charlotte Catholic in that stadium, it's going to tell us a lot about our young guys and about our team. I believe we'll rise to the occasion. I would love to get a victory there, but even a close loss. If we just compete, right, regardless of what the score is at the end of 4 quarters, if we can just compete, and I believe this is going to be the game where our young guys grow up, right? I think Charlotte Catholic going to come out there and punch us in the mouth. Now we're going to punch back, right? And so I'm excited about this game, especially with the preseason lineup. I think we're going to have a real tough test with Shelby, but this game on the road, playing Charlotte Catholic, I believe it's going to tell the fourth game of the season. It's going
to be a playoff type.
I'm telling you, it's going to tell us about our young guys. And listen, I got money on our young guys. I believe our young guys are going to compete. When Charlotte Catholic punch, we're going to punch back. But I want to see how they respond to adversity in that environment.
Right. When Drew said it, and we talked about this before, the playoff piece. Yeah. We hope, we expect, we plan on our team to make a deep run. We already have talked about how tough 6A is. Every round in 6A playoffs is going to be really tough. If you go in and play in this environment, and who's to say you don't go back there in the playoffs? You may. Or they may come to you.
They're 6A. So we can see them again.
Correct. Right. And so, it is definitely a playoff atmosphere. We're going to travel well because we always do, and they're going to be packed. I'm with you. There's a lot going on in that game that we might not see in other games. That are other parts of the whole atmosphere that I think how we respond to them will say a lot about us.
Yeah, when we said it the other week, I think the way I put it, if you can play a Charlotte Catholic team at Charlotte Catholic and play with those guys, you can play anybody in the state.
Right,
agree with
play
that.
Anywhere. Yeah.
I don't care if they're 8A, 1A, it doesn't matter. You can play anybody.
Yeah.
Because you know what they're bringing.
Yeah.
That's the Mecca.
And that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. You
know. I love it.
I do too.
I love it. I love this match. I love that coach scheduled this. Yeah, that lets you know the type of coaching staff we have. We ain't afraid of nobody.
But we said this
we'll
too.
play you anywhere you want to play. Right?
I'm sorry, Lamont. Let me speak over you.
You good.
I think when we said this in the other one, I think it also says a lot about Catholic. Yeah. I think it says what Catholic wants to play quality teams, and they wanted to play us.
People have finally recognized what we have always known. Cleveland County schools you better be glad we don't have one high school.
Right.
Right? Or just two high schools.
Even
but
two, yeah.
yeah, but people are realizing that but Cleveland County football is the best in the state.
It's different here.
Yeah,
It really
very
is.
different. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to week 5. This is when we start conference, September 19th at Forest View. We won there last season, 41-23. We are 9-1 we are 9-1 the last 10 games with Forest View. They were 1-9 last season. The only win coming to North Gaston. Now, traditionally, they're usually a lot better than this. They had lost coach changed, I believe, new coach and everything. They're normally better than a 1-9 season.
Definitely.
Is starting out week this will be week 5, but the first conference game, good matchup at Forest View.
Oh, most definitely. I
Traditionally,
believe so. Yeah.
traditionally, Forest View has been a thorn in Kings Mountain
Yes,
side.
absolutely.
Especially when we had when Greg Lloyd was our head coach,
Coach Medlin.
because our teams were so mirrored with each other that you could we could practice with each other. They were so close. So it was a challenging time anytime that you played Forest View.
Even last year, the Hurricane game.
God, yes.
I mean, they got to we missed a week. They got to play. Right. They played, I think, South Point or somebody.
Right.
Then they turned around and played us. They had prepared and practiced, and we went in there cold.
Yeah.
Sure. And it was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really tough. We talked about this. Is this a good way to go? Right after Catholic, it could be. I mean, but it depends on what you're coming in there like. I mean, if you're beat up and banged up, I mean, a physical game.
Right.
It's after playing Catholic, I don't know, but I think if we're going to start the conference there, I would rather start it with this one. We're going to talk more in a minute about the murderer's row we got to go on later.
I'd rather start with Forest View than a South Point or Ashbrook or a Crest. Yeah.
The only reason I would want South Point, Ashbrook, or Crest here is to spread them out a little more.
Right.
Because, and I don't really want them early, but I'm just saying to spread them out more.
But
because
we got a gauntlet at the end.
We do.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Wow.
All right, that's week 5. I should have got my friend to run this, but I didn't. I did not. I thought I could do it myself.
Just say you're a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Week
There it
6. This is our open week. Now, let's just talk just for a second. Traditionally, the last several years, we have had our open date the week before we start conference. This year, it's a week after we start conference. Make a difference?
No, I
mean, you're going into a bye week.
Yeah.
Let's say we do get a win at Forest View. You're going into the bye week, 1-0 in the conference.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference?
I think I like it here based on the way the schedule is set up, because now we have played one of probably the toughest non-conference. You have maybe not as a tough team in Forest View that you can do some things, maybe rest some people. Then you get that open. If we can get everybody to the open that's healthy, of course you're going to have some that's banged up. You can get them well. We need really our guys, that 22, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and we may even say the top 32, whoever the reserves coming in. We want them as healthy as possible, because, again, the second half of the season, we're going to need everybody, our top players, healthy. So I like it here. I really do.
I don't mind it here. We talked about this. I think it would be good if you can get that win, first conference win, then to take a break. I mean, I don't hate it here. This is strictly me talking. Has nothing to do. No one's told me anything, and it's not up to me. Obviously, if it were up to me, I would rather have it a little bit later, say between maybe Ashbrook and South Point, or after the South Point game between South Point and Hunter
closer
Huss.
to the playoffs.
I would rather have it there, maybe. And I'll say this. I also know, and again, this is me talking. No one's told me anything, and I'm not blaming or accusing anybody. I almost think that it makes it look a little bit like that Crest and Kings Mountain got a little bit of a bad shake on the scheduling, And I almost wondered, because I know how this works a lot of times when you reset conferences and redo things, the ADs get in rooms and the principals sometimes, and they hash all this out. I don't know that this happened again. This is just Craig talking. It almost makes me think that maybe, just maybe, those Gaston County schools kind of stuck together a little bit and said, well, we're going to send Crest and Kings Mountain this way, because I'm telling you, our second half schedule's rough. And if I've not looked at Crest's, but I would say Crest's probably lines up a lot like ours does there toward the end. But it is what it is, and you can't worry about it. You got to play. I know our staff. I know our team. I can guarantee you they will be ready. And if you know anything about Coach Herron, he makes no excuses. Coach Carroll, all of them, they make no excuses. We will be ready.
Well, I will say this. I did notice this last season. It felt like the more we played, the more gelled, and it's kind of like a snowball effect. And then when we had those times, the hurricane and the bye week and everything, it was like starting over from scratch again.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Now I hope that's not this season, but you run into that scenario, because I like momentum. When you're playing well, you want to keep playing.
Right. Oh, yeah. And you think about it, if we've run through this first part of the season, and we go into that bye week, and we're sitting there with a very favorable record, that's really good momentum to go into this second half. So I agree with that's a good point, Drew. I agree with that.
All right, let's talk about week 6. That's the open. I'm going to give you some teams, some matchups. You tell me who I need to go see that night. What's going to be the better games to go to? First one is Hunter Huss at South Point.
That was interesting.
It is based on last year. You can talk about that, Craig.
Yeah, because I mean, Huss only lost. Let me get to my stats here. Huss only lost 7 seniors off last year's team. They only gave up. They scored 254, gave up 262. They were 4-6, 3-4. Drill said again in a minute, but they're very athletic. They lost to Ashbrook, who ends up beating South Point in the playoffs 15-13 in a rivalry game. I mean, we know Huss is athletic. Huss is athletic enough to give South Point trouble. That could be a good game.
Ashbrook at North Gaston.
Yeah, listen, I love everything what Coach Wilson is doing at North Gaston. He is establishing his own culture there. He's exposing those kids to things that they probably would not have been exposed to. But Ashbrook, and we'll talk about Ashbrook later, but they are as advertised. They are the truth. And, of course, yeah.
I would love to see North Gaston win just because I love Darrell. We'll talk about them again in a minute, but I just don't know that they've got enough horses. I'm not sure it's going to happen
this game.
Yeah.
West Lincoln at Burns.
That's a great game. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
That one is one that would be worth going to watch. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because West Lincoln will bring a ton of people. They run their offense very well, and we know how good Burns will be.
That's right.
That will be a good game to watch, in my opinion.
I agree.
Bessemer City at East Gaston. Now, I will say I think Bessemer City beat them last year.
You're right.
But Bessemer City will be under a new coach. Coach Creed is a new head coach over there, which I actually helped coach when I coached Bessemer City.
Okay.
So Bessemer City at East Gaston.
I think they're pretty high
matchup.
I think they're pretty high on themselves. Yep. I think BC Shane developed a good program. He did it right. He left it in good shape.
He did.
So I think that's a good one. And then East Gaston's got a brand new coach. I don't know his name. I know he's very young. He's like 22, 23 years old. I'm not exaggerating. He's super, super young. Right. But they're very high on him. They like him. He's a community guy. I'm sure he'll invest a lot. But I might have to give the nod to the Yellow Jackets in that one.
I agree.
Forest View at Crest.
Running clock.
Bless. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know like I said, I'll get a text on that one, but I just don't think Forest View's got it.
Yeah, you got a text last year.
Yeah, I did.
I may get the text to
you. Would you change your prediction if it was at Forest View?
No.
It
doesn't help.
And we'll talk about Chris, but Chris is loaded too.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Let's go Catawba Valley. Hickory at North Lincoln.
Whew.
Now that's going to be
one.
It's going to be interesting.
Traditionally, the last several years, both of these programs have been strong.
Very strong.
And we know Hickory has lost the quarterback, the running back. They lost a lot, the receiver.
But their JV was undefeated.
But the JV was undefeated. That's what I'm going to say. And we know the type of coach they have.
Mm-hmm.
They have the championship pedigree.
Yes.
And North Lincoln has been there as well. I think this is going to be a good whatever. I'm sure they're in the same conference.
It's a conference game. And I don't know what North Lincoln lost or gained, but I know they made a very deep run in the playoffs last year. They were super good.
Yep.
So that if they've got anything is resembling what they had last year, that'll be a tough one and a conference game. So they're trying to they're jockeying for position there.
Yeah.
This will also be a conference game. Stuart Kramer at Shelby.
Running clock.
God,
Oh no,
no,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
not worth my money.
No.
Running clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it at Shelby too? It
It
wouldn't
is at
matter.
Shelby.
It wouldn't matter.
It's at Shelby.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's at Shelby.
Sorry, but it wouldn't matter.
RS Central at Chase in Rutherford County.
Isn't Sosby?
Sotheby is at
Sosby
Chase.
is the former coach at Crest.
Crest.
Is at Chase, right?
Yeah, he was at Crest. He went. He spent basically a semester at Ewing Middle School down in Cherokee County.
Okay.
I think he maybe even consulted a little bit for Gaffney. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for 100% certainty, but he is at Chase. He's been there since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And will if he does as well as he did at Hendersonville and Crest, I don't know that he will be that able to do that this quickly at Chase.
Yeah.
But he's got the pedigree to
and
turn around.
The players, he's a player's coach.
Right.
Players love to play for this guy, and so who knows? But I still get a nod to Chase.
I do too, because we said this earlier. RS Central's always an enigma.
Yeah.
I mean, when Kings Mountain
It's a
played them,
basketball school.
it is, and like there'd be years when they would give us just all kinds of fits, and then there's some years they just wouldn't. And I don't know what you're going to get.
It's
with
almost like every 10 years
Yeah.
you may have something, right? Yeah.
Let's go with Broome at Blacksburg.
So Blacksburg actually should have won the game last year. Broome was a well, there's still a 3A team. There's 5 classifications. It's in Spartanburg. It's a bigger school. Kind of a rivalry for Blacksburg a little bit. If Blacksburg is healthy, they've got a great shot to win that game. Broome is a much bigger team, but I believe Blacksburg has a shot to win that one, depending on how healthy they are. And we'll see what happens. But also, are you saving that other one for the last one? Yes, sir. I see that one on your paper.
And the last one I got is the one I would probably go to.
I think we need to. I think we need to
go
go
down
to this
and
one.
hit the Beacon Drive-In
Yeah.
one good time.
Yeah.
Get me a cheeseburger of plenty.
Yes.
And
I'm in if y'all are.
And see Gaffney at Spartanburg.
Boys,
Most definitely.
I'm telling you,
That's going to be the game.
there is all
Yeah.
kinds of hype around Gaffney this year. Well, there
yeah,
usually
most
is anyway. But
Most definitely.
their quarterback is back. They've got skill all around them.
Yeah.
They have one of our running backs.
They've got one of our running backs.
Right.
They actually
And
also got Blacksburg's best running back,
Really?
Shundee,
Really?
who is quick as lightning. I mean, he is. I don't know how they're using him, but he could start anywhere. Like he would play up here for us. He's that good, and
They almost say it's like thunder. We know what JoJo is going to bring.
Yes.
My God, that's why we hate to lose, but we know what he's going to bring. But the other guy, it's like thunder and lightning.
Oh,
Like, you got
absolutely.
Oh man.
And then I mean,
Yeah.
tradition.
Yeah.
17 or whatever state
Most
championship. Spartanburg is always super strong.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. I would love if y'all want to do it. I would
Yeah.
that honestly out of all those games. I mean, Burns and West Lincoln is
Right,
the next
right,
best
right,
one I
right.
think. But I would definitely go to Spartanburg and watch that game. It'd be worth your money
It's
and your
gonna
time.
be at Spartanburg,
It's
right?
at Spartanburg.
Well, that's the open date, September the 26th, and that's some games that we may or may not go see.
Well, you said Beacon Drive-In, so you really piqued my interest right there.
Beacon Drive-In. Well, let's take a break. We'll pay honor to our 2024 sponsors. When we get back, we'll finish the rest of the season, and we'll kick it off with homecoming. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by Lickety Loos, DR Horson Home Building, John Gamble and Carolina Golf, Allen & Sons Construction, the Imperial Mercantile and Outfitters.
Back here, KMHS Sports, Drew Fulton, Craig Short, Lamont Littlejohn. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you're watching us, at home, at work. Hopefully not riding down the road, but I wouldn't put it past some of our folks.
And at work, I hope they don't get in trouble with your boss.
All right, let's move on with the conference schedule. Week 7, which is homecoming, October 3rd. We have North Gas and the Wildcats coming to town. They finished 3-7 last season. We won this game 54-6. Can Darrell Wilson take another step forward with this team and bring a good Wildcat team into Kings Mountain?
Like I said, I love everything Darrell is doing. Again, he is really changing the culture over there at North Gaston. I don't know how much talent he has. We know that he can coach, but does he have the talent? And so I really personally coming off a open week, I love this game. I'd rather have this game than an Ashbrook or a South Point or a Crest game coming off an open week. I love our chances in this game, but I love what Darryl is doing over there at North Gaston.
100%. I mean, love Darryl too. Darryl is an amazing man. I mean, not only is he a good football coach, he's just an amazing man.
Exactly.
And he's doing it the right way. He's getting the community involved. As you all know, my son's a pastor there in Dallas.
Right.
I mean, he's brought Cooper in among other pastors. He's gotten other community members involved. I've seen pictures of them in the weight room. They've been to camps. They went to a 7-on-7 FCA camp. I think they won it or they finished second.
They did, I believe.
So, yeah, I mean, he's doing the right thing. And I will say, from what I'm hearing, because WC Friday is the school where I used to work, he's gotten involved there. A lot of the other high school coaches, at least that were there when I was the principal at WC Friday, they didn't really mess with us very much. Right. Darryl has gotten involved. They won some games this year on the middle school level, which is saying a lot. So I do think it's going in the right direction. He is taking the step, Drew, like you said. I firmly believe that. I just think it'll be tougher on him. I just believe Kings Mountain's got a little bit more than they do. However, as good a defensive mind as he is, it would not surprise me if it's a tough game for us. And then, you know, anything can happen when you play and you're dealing with teenagers.
Oh, most definitely.
But it'll be Darryl is definitely moving in the right direction with that team.
Normally they draw from WC Friday, and is it Holbrook?
They can draw. Yes, the Holbrook almost exclusively goes to Ashbrook.
Ashbrook, okay.
However, there is a small niche that goes to North Gaston.
Okay.
And Gaston County still has school choice. And so if certain schools, the middle schools and high schools and even some of the elementaries, you can apply to go to those schools if you want to use that track. Like, for instance, at North Gaston and WC Friday, it's a leadership magnet, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So if you want to work on things in like leadership type things, you can apply and go. You have to provide your own transportation.
Gotcha.
I say that to say, if a kid wants to come to North Gaston because they want to do the leadership track, but they're supposed to go to Hunter Huss, they can go there as long as they can get themselves there. So Darryl may even be able to get some kids that way, but primarily his students, his players are coming from WC.
It's interesting. You wonder who has transferred, because Coach Wilson is a coach that a player will want to play for.
Absolutely.
He's a player's coach.
And that might be what he has some now. I don't know, but you're right. They definitely would be drawn to the program he runs.
And he's a good staff, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a great staff.
To me, that would be his biggest his biggest hurdle when he took over North Gaston, is to stop those great players from jumping ship and going to Huss, going to Ashbrook, going somewhere else.
Some of them even came here.
Ball.
Some came here.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so I think he has done that.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on with the schedule, and that's homecoming. And this, to me, is where the schedule gets a little rocky.
Oh man!
October 10th at Ashbrook. They finished 10-3 last season, made a run in the playoffs, lost to North Lincoln in the third round, 20-10. We were able to come away with a win, 27-19 last year. They returned a lot of key players, some players that we know very well. Savion Lindsay. They gained T.J. Armstrong. It comes in the quarterback. I've always said that Ashbrook, at the beginning of every season, looks like they could be champions on paper. But when it came to the game on the field, it just didn't work out too well. Now, they proved me wrong last season.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They were able to put some things together, win some games that normally they would not have won, win some playoff games that they would not have won, and looked more like a team, an Ashbrook team of the late 70s, early 80s, and were able to compete. Are they on track to keep that up this year? We've got to go there to Gaston County and play at Green Wave Stadium. Is this going to be a rough game?
I will say the teams of Coach Eccles and then his son and then a couple coaches, I can't remember the guy after them, late 90s, early 2000s, were good. Yeah. They did the right thing. They've been missing that coach or that coaching staff in the last few years that could get them where they need to be. The staff they've got now, I don't know them personally, but I can just tell by looking at them how they play now compared to how they played before with almost the same caliber of player.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot out of those young men.
They are.
And they are impressive. They are huge. They will be big up front again, regardless. Yeah. They've got Savion. They've got TJ. The question is going to be, who do they play at quarterback? Do they play Do they play TJ? Or do they play AJ McLean?
Yeah. I think that's the question on everyone's. And just for our audience, just let you know that TJ came to us from Holbrook. So
right, he's
going back home.
He's going home.
And TJ, I think we can speak a lot about him, his family, even his brother, who's I think at Hampton University.
Yeah.
I mean, just dogs. So we're gonna miss them. We wish them the best. Ashbrook, except for this game, right? We want to beat Ashbrook. Right. We want to beat Ashbrook.
There's a few on here. I hope they win.
Exactly.
I'd love to see them beat some other teams, just not us.
Exactly. So just to get that out of the way, but I really believe that's going to come down to. I'm not sure if they're going to do a 2-quarterback system.
Right.
And it's really going to be how they handle that situation, because that can make or break you if you're not settled in that position. And I believe that both TJ and AJ are going to be the best friends. They're going to try to compete, make each other better. But again, Ashbrook's always been big. They always been athletic. But it seems like when they get on the field, they get out coached. Now,
not now though.
Not now. Mm-hmm. This is the new guy. I think he took over last year.
He did,
and you see what happened.
Yeah.
And so I think this is going to be a tough game for us. As we said on the recording, Ashbrook is everything that is advertised.
They are. And I'm sorry I don't know the coach's name. I do apologize for that. That's rude. But I will say this. I saw his interview after the playoff win over South Point. And he said something to the effect about how they were more interested in making good young men, good students, competitive players, and he spoke about the GPA of the team and the community stuff they were doing, and kudos to him. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the coaches before him didn't do that.
Right.
What I'm saying is he is saying all the right things and doing all the right things, and you guys know like I do, you can win a lot of games with athletic ability, but when you've got a team that's got athletic ability and then they've got a purpose because they've got a good staff behind them and putting them in the right positions.
And he's building the culture the right way.
He's done it the right way. So it's definitely going to be a tough we knew it was going to be tough either way.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And I'm not looking forward to going there, but we've got to. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the road on week 8 at Ashbrook. Then we turn back on the road week 9, October 17th.
That's what I said.
And go to Belmont. Now,
Burger Field.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you before I get into any stats, this is not one of the stadiums I enjoy going to.
I can't stand it.
I enjoy going to some stadiums.
Right.
I even really enjoy going to Charlotte Catholic. To be honest with you,
it's nice.
Most
yeah, Crest is not bad.
I like going to Crest.
I can do Shelby, but
Lineberger Stadium.
Lineberger Stadium. Most teams are down by 7.
Yeah.
No, 14 now.
When they walk off the bus.
It's 14-0.
I told you before you continue, because I'm going to let you talk all about it, because I don't even like to talk about the place. The only thing I like about it is they sell bottled Sundrops. God bless you, Lineberger Stadium in South Point. You sell bottled Sundrop drinks, and we still haven't got a sponsor from Choice, by the way, but I hope we do. But yes, that's why I like going there. Other than that, can't stand it.
This game got away from us in the middle of the season last year. We lost to South Point 28-21 in Belmont. We've got to travel again there this year.
No, they were with us last year.
That's right, and I had this wrong last time. We finished 9-2 last season. They finished 9-2 last season, got beaten the second round by Ashbrook 31-28 that you just alluded to. They returned some key players. They returned Patrick Blee and
so
a lot of great offensive
year.
line over at South Point to run that red bone offense.
They lost both of their fullbacks.
Yeah.
I've got Blee down for 1,054 yards last year. Both of their fullbacks graduated.
Yeah.
However,
they were tough too.
They were very tough. However, as we said on the recording, that is in the ether somewhere right now. South Point.
They reload.
Belmont,
they don't rebuild. They reload.
They've got plenty of fullback power coming back, and not only is it a tough place to play, they are just such a good team.
Fundamentally,
they are
disciplined, sound.
They are,
and one mistake would beat you. You know, if you miss one gap assignment or anything, I mean.
Well, let's go back to last year, Lamont. Yeah. You think about this game. They got the opening kickoff.
Right.
They drove the field. They took basically the entire first quarter,
Yep.
drove down and scored.
Yep.
We go back and score.
Yep.
And it was back and forth, but then they broke one late. I mean, we still had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, most definitely.
But they, through clock control, because of what they run, you're not going to see the ball a lot, and they played it to a T, and that was a good win for them.
I think we had the ball last at the end.
We
trying
did
to win it. We had a chance to go down there and tie it up. But again, you just can't get yourself in that situation with this type of team.
Right.
Now, the thing I like about playing over there is that we are the last 2 times we played, we've won.
We have.
Right. And so, but again, I don't like going over there. But
I don't
again,
either.
But we've won the last 2 times we played over there.
So that's what I was talking about on the recording. If we only had a little more eligibility for Robert Kendrick, because the last 2 times we played
that was the player of the game.
He has shown out twice.
The fake punt.
If you remember the 2 years before that,
yes,
he literally put the team on his back
and
just carried our boys. So, but anyway, it's going to be good, and it's a good test for us. And here again, a good test for the playoffs.
Right.
We wouldn't see South Point in the playoffs because they're 5A.
That's right.
However, it is a playoff atmosphere because we'll bring a good crew.
RPI,
absolute RPI, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Well, you talk about South. We've said this several times with South Point. It's kind of part of their game plan. They don't mind 1st and 10 getting a 1-yard carry.
Right.
2nd and 9 getting a 2-yard carry. 3rd, they might have to punt and they come right back again because they're looking for that one gap assignment that you miss. And he takes the ball 70 yards for a touchdown. Right,
and something we've seen in the last couple of years out of Blee, they've allowed him to throw the ball more. It used to be that when you got ready for South Point, you always had to worry about them hitting you on that little quick slant or out. You were so sold on the run, then they'd pop you.
That might come at mid of 2nd quarter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so now you still are trying to stop the run, but he throws the ball more. Because he's so much more. He's so versatile. So now
he's the total package.
He is.
Blee is the total package. He's a beast.
All right, let's go to week 10. October 24th, Hunter Huss. We won this game last season 39-13. Huss did make a good playoff run. They got blown out by West Charlotte 47-0.
Eventual state champion.
Yep. They finished the season 4-6. But this is the first time Huss has been in the playoffs in a while. So they're obviously making strides at Huss to improve their program. They come to Kings Mountain. Are they going to be improved?
Oh, definitely. They only lost, I told you, 7 seniors, and we talked about they're being fed by York Chester and Southwest, which are traditionally 2 very strong middle school teams. Huss is always athletic. Even last year when we beat them there, they're athletic. They are troublesome. What we've been able to do lately, we've been able to get up on them pretty quick and kind of, it looks like to me, take their will a little bit. But this is a scary game because it's coming off of we've had to play 2 really, really tough games back-to-back, Ashbrook, at South Point, and then you play Huss, knowing you've got to play Crest the next week. This is a very, very tough game that could cause us major issues if we're not careful.
Most definitely. I agree.
All right, that's week 10. Ashbrook or Hunter Huss at Kings Mountain. I was ready for this, but then I wasn't ready for this. All right, week 11, senior night. Crest comes to Kings Mountain October 31st, which is Halloween. We'll talk about what everybody's costume everybody's going to wear in the press box for Halloween. We'll do that later. They finished 10-3 last season. We did get a 24-23 win. They got put out by Hickory in the 3rd round, 63-48. They returned a lot of good players. Eli Hamrick at quarterback, 2 of probably the best defensive backs in the Big South, with Pettit and Surratt, if not in the Western North Carolina.
Right.
I mean, a great backfield.
Both have multiple
on both
offers.
sides.
Yeah, I think they committed to Duke and State.
Duke and State, yeah.
This is week 11. How big of a test is it going to be this year with Kings Mountain Crest?
Well, I told you. I've said this before. If history repeats itself, the visiting team has won this game the last 4 games.
Exactly.
Kings Mountain has won 2 in a row at Crest.
Right.
Crest has won 2 in a row at Kings Mountain.
Exactly.
I hope we break history this year. Here's the thing, however. We want to win it. We want to play well. It's going to help both our teams in the RPI if we both play like we're supposed to play.
Right.
But at the end of the day, even if we lose it, if we're ahead of Ashbrook in the rankings, it could help us. Now, it doesn't mean it will, because we're going to talk about that in a moment. But typically, and most likely, it could. So, I mean, you want to win it. You hope you win it to win the conference outright. Yeah. But again, it's not a deal breaker on the season if you don't. So it's going to be tough, though. We know what Crest is bringing. We know what they're loaded. Right. Greg will have them ready to play. Their defensive coordinator, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, is really good. It's going to be a test, and I'm sure by that time they're coming into us. If they've got a loss or two, maybe they've got a tough schedule. They're playing Weddington. Yeah, I mean they're playing the same teams we are in the conference.
I mean, we know Coach Lloyd. He doesn't schedule any lightweights.
No,
so he's preparing for this deep run,
right?
Which his team is built.
They are
to win it all. And the other angle is this is his first game back in John Gamble as the Crest coach. We played them last year, but it was there. And so I know it's a lot of emotion still for him coming back and everything he gave to this place. But Crest is loaded. And I'm hearing also talk to some more people doing Crest that their line is the truth. So I was asking during the recording, I'm not sure about the trenches. The line is the truth, and of course we know the skill players.
Right.
And I believe the quarterback has an offer from Virginia.
It's Virginia.
And so I mean you got a lot of D1 talent on that team, but again, our young guys, I don't think we're going to shy away from it. I think we're going to buckle up, and Coach Lloyd knows that.
Right.
He's going to have his team prepared. Don't overlook this Kings Mountain team. Again, it's a county team. Throw out the records. I just want us to show up and play.
I'm sorry, Lamont.
No,
I want to say something real quick, but you made me think.
Yeah.
Like I keep seeing all the hype about Mallard Creek and playing Weddington, and I mean we know those teams in the Charlotte area are tremendous. When you said D1 talent, I want you to think of something.
Yeah.
When Kings Mountain plays Ashbrook, Shelby, Crest, South Point, probably even Hunter Huss, Catholic.
Yeah.
There is a lot of Division I talent with those teams playing each other.
That's right.
I mean, we
got our own D1 talent.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying we've got D1 talent. We already have some that have signed.
Right. Boston College, Gardner-Webb, and you got more coming.
More coming. I mean, it's you couldn't want anything better as a high school football fan. I mean, you really couldn't.
I think Shamaj is going to Gardner-Webb.
He is. He's going to Gardner-Webb. Yes.
Now this is the last game of the season. Is it going to come down to who's less beat up at this point? Because both of these, you said that Crest, Greg Lloyd doesn't schedule any cupcake teams.
No.
So he's got a tough schedule just like we do.
He does.
Who's going to be in a better position to win that ball game?
And by the time you get to this game, you pretty much know where you at, right? You'll know if your record's 7-3 or 1-9 or whatever it is. You know where you at. And so I think this game here is just it's about playing for pride.
It is.
It's a pride game. Plus, it could also be for seeding. We got to look at the RPI thing, right? And conference champs. So I think every time we come to Crescent Kings Mountain, it's always been, hey, we're playing for the conference championship.
It seems like that's
it
what
always
it is every
comes
year.
down to us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a break right there. That finishes the regular season. We've got a lot more info to give you. Stay with us, KMHS Sports. We'll be back with more of the 2025 Kickoff Show right after this.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust, Brittany Austin and Company Real Estate, Flooring America, Dellinger's Jewel Shop, JWH Contracting, Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here live with Craig Short, Lamont Littlejohn. I'm Drew Fulton. Thank you so much for putting up with us and finally getting this on the air. I guess we're on the air. Have you gotten a text that says, "Hey, where'd you go? Where'd you go?" Yeah, okay. So hopefully we are. And I will before we get to what I'm gonna get Craig to tell you about. Looking at the schedule, of course, you will find all the home games here on KMHS Sports on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like us. That way you can find us a lot easier. We're able to reach out and find some other people that other Kings Mountain graduates or supporters that maybe don't know that we broadcast. So if you help us by subscribing to the channel, there's look at all the statistics. Only like 10% of the people that watch us actually subscribe. So just go in there, hit the subscribe button, and that helps us out and helps you out and lets us bring you more KMHS sports content. All right, do that. And let's talk about with all the alignment with the different conferences, the Big South, 5A, 6A now, it changes the playoffs. So we finished, we've gone through week 11 of the schedule. It changes how the playoffs are done. Craig, bring us up to date of exactly how that's going to work.
Absolutely. So now we have 8 classifications, 1A to 8A, which seems a little odd, but that's the way it is. Now playoff seeding, according to the state, this is starting this year, is relying exclusively on RPI. That's your strength of schedule, basically, how you performed and how your opponents performed. It's going to be 40%. It's going to be 40-40-20. 40% will be calculated by your winning percentage. 40% will be calculated by your opponent's winning percentage, which is why you want to play better teams. And then 20% is calculated by your opponent's winning percentage. So there again, it bodes well for teams like Catholic, Crest, Weddington to play one another because it helps you because they'll play tough schedules too. What is not being included in determining playoff seeding is strength of schedule, margin of victory, opponent classification, or previous season. So they're not looking at that. And here's where it gets interesting to me. So they're going to seed brackets 1A to 8A. 1A through 7A will have 48 teams each. 8A will have 24 teams. I'm not worried about them. Here's what's interesting to me. 1A to 7A, the top 16 teams get a first-round bye. So 1 through 16 will not play in the first round. They'll wait. 17 through 32, or that would be 17 through 48, will play in the first round. Second round, then we'll match up from there, which, again, might help you if you're able to sit out a week and maybe heal up a little bit. Conference, and here's the other thing that we really want to work on. Conference champions are not granted preferential seating. So like in a situation we were in this past year, Freedom, for instance, was the top team finishing in the 3A classification for their 3A, 4A split. They got the nod over Crest and Kings Mountain, even though Crest and Kings Mountain both had a stronger strength of schedule, all the RPI, we'll say that. But they were a, quote, conference champion, so they got an 8 seed. Kings Mountain and Crest got bumped lower. That won't happen this year. So they're finally going to the strength of who you are, who you play, what you've done.
Which is
the way it should be.
Exactly.
And I think I kind of like the first-round bye idea to where, you make the playoffs. If you're sitting there with a pretty good seed, even if it's not 1 to 16, you're going to be able to sit for that first week.
Second bye,
yes,
right, of the season.
Yes, the second bye of the season. You're bringing up JV players. It gives you an extra week to practice with them. You can heal up a little bit.
Extra wrinkles.
I like that.
And scout your
correct.
opponent.
Correct.
So we look forward to that for the playoffs, and we're kind of spoiled, I guess, because we imagine ourselves already there. Even though that we've got a tough schedule ahead of us, we already foresee, especially as fans. I hope the team doesn't, but as fans, we are, we're already there. So let's take another quick break. When we get back, we'll tell you about all the other things you need to know about this upcoming season. We'll be back right after this.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by the venue at Turkey Ridge, Xenia Home Building, Innovative Pools, Butler Tire and Auto, Long Branch Land and Water, Christie Cellars with Allen Tate Realty.
Back here live at First Baptist Church, Kings Mountain. Thank you so much to Jeff Johnson and the church staff for letting us do our show here. I believe you also filmed the spring coaches show here as well.
Coach
So maybe we'll move in here a little bit more.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. All right, just some interesting things you'll need to know about this coming season, especially at home games. We've got Dave Reed, Jason Mills. They've signed their contract to come back again this coming season, so they'll be doing more of the student section games. And we get to see a little bit of that from the press box.
But
and
people
they
actually stay in the stands.
Yes, they do. They do
to watch that. I mean, it's very entertaining.
It is.
Yeah.
So they'll be with homecoming to senior night. There's only 3 games. Plus, if we go into playoffs and get a home game, maybe 4 games that they're able to do that. So a lot of interesting things to watch this year. We do have plenty of free T-shirts they'll be launching with the T-shirt cannon.
Yes.
As long as I go back and make sure we have enough gas and refill that cannon. Lickety Lou's is sponsoring again. This will be, I think, the 3rd season he's done it. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for Lickety Lou's. If your food's not kicking, give it a lick. Lickety Lou's. We want to remind you that the drop-off area, if you're dropping off students or your grandmother or something at the games, to do so in front of the school. Drop them off in front of the school, because the small road between the old field house and new field house will be closed.
Right.
I think it's 6:30, 6.
I think so, yes.
Something of that area, and you will not be able to go up there and drop them off and then drive out.
Right.
That's not possible. I do know that the season tickets have gone on sale. The parking passes, I believe, are going to go on sale. I don't think they have yet, but they will go on sale. So keep in touch with social media to find out about that. Maybe we'll have a new show. Maybe we'll have a special show on this. But as you've already started seeing, Kings Mountain Touchdown Club is about ready to start their new project, and that is upgrades and expansion to John Gamble Stadium. Right. That will begin after this season. Maybe we'll have some stuff to show you later on down the road about plans, so you know exactly what that is going to entail. That brings me to the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, and Craig has always done a great job and telling you exactly why you need to be a member of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, and they have just started this new season's membership drive. So tell them about it.
Absolutely. So most of you watching us already know about the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, and I would argue that a lot of you are members of it. If you're not, I would encourage you to join it, because as I tell you each week on the Coaches Show, the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, all the money they raise, all the effort they put in is for all things Mountaineer. Every dime they raise goes to something Kings Mountain, whether it be athletics, facilities, academics, what have you. They have long since contributed tons and tons of money and effort to our facility. And if you don't believe our facility is one of the greatest, just go over there and look at it if you've not been in a while. They're building something and taking care of things all the time. So I encourage you to go to kmtouchdownclub.com, sign up again for this year, and hopefully you'll be a recurring member. You'll do it each year when it comes up time. If you don't remember to go to that website, kmtouchdownclub.com, you could see either David or Marie at one of the home games or one of the events we have. You could also see one of us at a game. Shoot us an email.
AD,
coaches, all of them.
Schools, we
can get involved, and we would love to have you involved. And we hear all the time, people will say, we love it when you show the cheerleaders, we love it when you show the band, those kinds of things. And that's the reason they do it, because the KM, I know it says touchdown, but it's not for just football. The way I see it is, we use that word when something good happens. Hey, that's a touchdown. That's the way I see it. It's good for everyone, because I can tell you, I've said this before, when I was at Kings Mountain, I was a head softball coach. They bought lots of things for the softball team. They paid for us to travel to a playoff game one time. That's not football. They redid our weight room. All of our athletics uses the weight room. So they've done things for the band. They've done things for chorus. They are fully involved in Kings Mountain athletics and Kings Mountain High School in general, as you are too, because you're watching this show. So I would encourage you to join that program and be a great supporter of Kings Mountain High School.
Plus, I think it's 3. They have 3 or 4 dinners throughout the season that you get to come out and hang out with other members and eat barbecue and spaghetti and talk. And
we got one coming up in next couple weeks.
I think so. So usually have one around when the season starts.
Right.
So, I think that's the barbecue one. It's the rib one. There's ribs somewhere deep in the season that I really look forward
Cooking
to.
Maniacs?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good food from the Cooking Maniacs, I'm telling you.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We hope we told you something you didn't know. If we didn't, well, just turn us off. Well, I guess it's too late to do that. But we're getting ready for the 2025 football season. I will say this now: we will not carry on this channel the jamboree coming up this Friday. So don't text me about that; it won't happen. The next following week, the scrimmage with West Iredale, I would like to do. So we may carry that one next Friday. So keep an eye out on social media. You'll see a link if we're able to do that. And, of course, we will definitely 100% be on board with Shelby coming in Kings Mountain Battle of Buffalo Creek. And we look forward to it. Anything else I missed? Anything else I need to hit?
Everyone just get to Garden Web next week. Friday.
This week.
We're still in recording.
Yeah.
Friday. Get there, Garden Web University. Get there. You're going to have 4 great football games. So get there to Garden Web.
Do we know who's there?
Who each team's playing?
Yeah.
So Burns is playing Corvian. Corvian played for the state championship last year in 1A, and they're returning a bunch of players. They're ranked in the 1A poll again this year. We're playing Monroe.
Right.
Crest
which is always
ridiculous.
Crest playing Myers
Crest
Park.
is playing Myers Park, and Shelby is playing, I think, South Meck. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Okay.
I do know, however, there are 8 really good teams there, and it will be worth your time and your money and your effort to go. Plus, look at it this way. Yeah. The money you're giving, I'm sure the parking fee goes to Gardner Webb, I would think, which is great.
I believe schools and stuff still get the gate.
The gate fee goes to the schools, and that helps our teams tremendously. So, plus you're getting to see 8 good teams, so it's worth it
for $20.
Right, it's worth it.
So where do we go eat before the game?
Don't go eat in Boiling Springs because you won't be able to get in anywhere. You'd eat in Shelby.
You do.
Oh, okay.
Or go very early and
go
to
the snack shop or
real early and go down the Beacon.
You could swing down to Spartanburg and come back. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. This has been a presentation of KMHS Sports, and which is brought to you by the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. We will see you soon with more Mountaineer football. Thank you.
KMHS Sports is sponsored by Lickety Loos, D.R. Horson Home Building, John Gamble and Carolina Golf, Allen & Sons Construction, the Imperial Mercantile and Outfitters,